Ooh, what's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. Big shout out to my doggy, Bob Ross, for coming through and boosting up them painting coins. Patterning your man, the YB, with the painting coins, no doubt about it. So, we got a bit of a weird one today. Essentially, Turki Halal Sheikh, Prince Turki Mohammed Salman bin, comes out and exposes the Team Massa Hearns coup to rob Alexander Usyk's belt, and he alleges he had nothing to do with it. And I want to play to you actually the question before he goes on this rant, because it really, listen, these talk sport shills, they don't mention nothing about, they don't say, for example, hey Turkey, why they rob Usyk's belt. Yeah, they ain't do that. But Turkey somehow gets there. The question you'll see in a minute isn't even relevant to how Usyk got his belt robbed. Nonetheless, Turkey let slip that he's not impressed that Usyk got robbed, allegedly. I mean, who knows? He probably playing, you know, my man. Yeah, Turkey, the same guy who says, Turkey, the same cat, yeah, who will sit there and look spark in CNN's face and tell him, hey man, Jamal Khashoggi, he ain't come to this embassy. You know, he be trifling. Anyway, let's get to this is the question. And you'll hear it's nothing to do with Usyk getting robbed, but listen to it anyway. One of them ones.
To listen to it. Okay?
Good point. Turkey, does the winner of AJ Dubois face the winner of Usyk Fury?
So you can see there, 14 minutes, 17 seconds, they asked a question that has nothing to do with Usyk being robbed. Anyway, Turkey goes on a rant, there's no other questions posed to him, and then about 40 seconds later, after that question's asked, he goes into this rant.
Chance to play against the winner of Tyson and Usyk if they accept everything, if they accept. But if you talk with me as a Turkey, as a person, what is my opinion, and sorry for that, I love Joshua a lot, but as a fan, I prefer the fight between Tyson and Usyk and dispute it again. I think it is not right to have the world title getting from Usyk from the IBF. This is my opinion as a fan. Okay? For the business, and Simon liked the business. For the business, of course, will be a huge fight if Joshua wins. The third time world title.
Stop it.
And the result of Tyson and Usyk, it will be huge fight.
So actually, I've just listened again, and to be honest, even though Turkey says he wished that, well, he alleges he wishes that Usyk wasn't stripped, I forgot, or I didn't remember the caveat he puts in there. As a fan, it don't make sense. But then he goes to, for business, it's great. So obviously, then man, it's all about the coin. The shekel, come on now, people, say no more. Yeah, I need to explain to you, man. Yeah, they've been digging pocket, okay? 100%. So, anyway. There's the leak there. I want to play it one more time, actually, because I forgot what I'm going to say.
The winner of Tyson and Usyk, if they accept everything, if they accept. But if you talk with me as a Turkey, as a person, what is my opinion, and sorry for that, I love Joshua a lot.
No did he.
But as a fan, I prefer the fight between Tyson and Usyk and dispute it again. I think it is not right to have the world title getting from Usyk from the IBF. This is my opinion as a fan. Okay? For the business.
See, it's weird, man. I don't know. And this is, again, what I don't like about the system we live in right now. Things don't have to make sense anymore. It's like, well, the money's there. And I'm not religious, but all these cats, I don't know about the, what do they call it? What's the Muslim one called? The Quran. I don't know about that, but I assume they're all similar, I guess. And money's supposed to be the root of all evil, or something along the lines of that. But yet all these religious cats sitting there with all their whatever on, all their kit on, hey man, the right thing to do would not be to strip Usyk, but business, it makes sense to put Johnson on. It makes sense to make the battle of the British bodybuilders in London. That's whack and weak, okay? Usyk won. I wouldn't even mind so much if there was, let's say AJ, hadn't fought Usyk and was on. Do you know what I'm saying? He lost twice. It's not like it's even that quick conversation. For example, it's not my opinion, but some people might say, oh, but Coley's going to smoke Usyk kind of thing. If AJ had that kind of thing around him where we didn't know and it's possible, there might be an argument to say, well, AJ's actually a world champion. Well, he could be. He beat you twice, okay? He beat you twice and made you lose your head. Talking about, oh, Usyk don't like me because I'm black and big. That's what AJ said. I did a video the other day on it. Oops. Yeah, if all the Johnston-sexuals out there, put that in your pipe and puff on that. That's what you need to do. Do you understand? So I don't like the way... How can you sit there and know what's right? It's not hard to do either. You can still do Fury and AJ for the Battle of the Bums. Battle of the British Bums. That's what they'd be. Let's call a spade here. And that's also the problem with the fans. Everyone's cucked. The establishment are cucked. And the fans are cucked. Because I told you, no one should have been buying tickets for that. Yeah? No one should have been buying tickets for that fight at all. For that belt. There should have been a strike. We ain't watching you steal a belt from a champion. There's nothing glorious in that. And you did steal it. That's a fact. Usyk won his appeal. He appealed after beating Fury to keep his belt, which is why the belt wasn't on the line for Hrgovic versus Dubois. That was done. The IBF already ruled at the end of May. It was done deal. It was going to be undisputed in December for the Fury rematch, which is the right thing to do. Given all the circumstances, at this point, there's absolutely no... There's not one argument. Oh, IB, Johnston beat Hellenius and Wallin and Ngannou, so he need... Make that make sense. Who gives a about Wallin? That's your best win right now. Wallin. And you were shitting yourself in that fight as well. That's your best argument. We need to strip Usyk, who beat AJ twice, stopped Dubois, half-stopped Fury, strip him to give a belt to a man who shit himself against Wallin. Make that make sense, people. Make that make a little bit of sense for me. That's what you need to do. So that event should have been boycott. They know what they can do. They don't listen. If they're selling 100,000 tickets because they robbed the belt, there's no integrity in the common man. There's no integrity anywhere. You've got the top guys like Turki and Massa Hearns saying, "Oh, we're not fighting unless we rob the belt. Oh, it's our belt." You lost the appeal. So again, there is some responsibility here for Usyk. I believe Turki's explained himself. As a fan, he knows it's not right. Because it isn't. But as a businessman, he knew, okay, I'll throw Usyk $5 million probably, or $10 million to give his belt up. Usyk will be happy, or happy. Well, he was happy, he took the deal. I told you, again, these are truly estrogenic times. And I wonder, I'm only speculating, but I wonder, if you got one of them old heads, maybe they would have sold out. I'm not saying that the old time dudes are the best dudes kind of thing, but there's a possibility, or certainly a higher possibility, if some cornball had to come to pick someone, I don't know, take James Toney. I'm on a bit of a James Toney one these times. If James Toney had to beat Roy Jones in the ring twice, and some cornball from Saudi came along and said, hey Tony, we want to pay you to take this belt and give it to Roy Jones. I think there's an extremely larger chance he'd say, you bugging. I beat his ass. If you want it, come get it. Right? We can all agree that. We can't be sure. He might have sold out, but Usyk sold out. He sold out. He should have said, Bosh! Hey Turkey. Hey Massa Hearns. Hey Team AJ Kabal. 258 Management Shekel Cats. Come get it if you want it. You ain't... And Usyk, that's the thing about Usyk and paid people. He already paid. Yeah? He already paid. He hit 2 AJ licks, a Fury lick, a Fury rematch lick, an AJ rematch lick. He already made hundreds of millions. What's Turkey's... I can't believe Turkey paid 100 mil for the belt, for example. But even so, Usyk's got to have 100 mil in his bank at this point, after taxes. When it's all said and done, he must have 100 mil / 100 mil in assets. So it gets to the point like, isn't your legacy worth more? To tell Turkey, keep your 10 mil. If the big bodybuilder wants it, he can come get it a third time. Right? There's no way Turkey paid 50 for that belt. It would have been like 5 tops, 10 tops. Usyk's been had 5, 10 mil. So he sold out. For coin he can never use. Yeah? He can never use that coin. With 100 mil, you bang that in the most basic kind of long-term savings account, you're getting 3-4%, or certainly 3%. That's 3 mil a year. What's that? 300 grand a month. Who the fuck can spend that? Whose kids can spend that? Right? And I'd argue, anyone's kids who think they're going to spend that, they bugging. I'd give them like, I don't know. I'm not sure you give them anything, to be honest. Go get it. Right? Make lazy fuckers. Lazy entitled little bastards you make. So fuck that. Go get yours, man. Go mop a floor, 100%. Because you know Usyk's proverbially mopped the floor before. Yeah? What's the point giving them 30 grand a month so they can sniff their head off, no doubt? That's what most of the establishment kids be doing. They're sniffing their head off, they're crashing cars on a mad one. So there's no actual benefit to your bloodline by putting them on in such a massive way. Okay, buy the house for them if you want, but you're going to have to work. That's what you're going to have to do. Stay busy. Yeah, you ain't going out to Cali. That's what you're not doing. Yeah, all them Hollywood heads. Get your booty popped. Anyway, it's a whole week situation. Who holds ultimate blame? Everyone has their own. I'm not going to sit here and blame Massa Hearns. Although it has to be said, if Massa Hearns wasn't politicking for it, Usyk wasn't out there auctioning his belt, who wants it? And who knows, there's speculation that the IBF, the Turkey Mafia, and Massa Hearn cabal, they were lobbying the IBF. So it is possible, yeah, that Usyk got word that they were going to strip him anyway, and he cashed out. And if that was the case, salute to him. That was the smart thing to do. If you know you're going to get your belt taken anyway, although you could argue you could have took a stand like Ali in the Vietnam War. Usyk could have come out and said, hey man, Usyk should have publicly come out and said, these females round the coffee table, they be trifling, trying to steal my belt. That's what he could have done. If he was really old school. That's what happened. If there was no intervention from Massa Hearns and the Turkey cabal, he'd have had his belt still. Because that was already done, people. He'd already appealed. The IBF were talking about stripping him before Dubois and Hergovich. They already said, no, we're not going to strip him. That's why Dubois was interim. And they already decided Usyk will fight Fury for the undisputed. But then Eddie Hearn got on the thing. Oh, man, you're 100%. Calvin Candy Hearn got on the phone, crying every 5 minutes, I no doubt, whining down the blower, and he's on interviews. We want the belt, or we're not fighting. Oh, we're not fighting. We want the belt. We lost twice. Oh, we want the belt. We want the belt that we beat Wallin for. We want the belt that we beat Ngannou for. That's what he did. All the Anthony Johnson homosexuals can be as bent out of shape as you want. That is the record. I hate to break it to you. That's what happened. Might be Usyk wanted to give it up, and on all these talk sports shows. No, actually, the IBF had to strip him because he didn't want to defend his belt. Not what happened. In fact, you know what? It's been a while since I brought it up. Usyk appeals IBF. Because a few of you Anthony Johnson homosexuals appeals IBF belt. Okay. So Usyk, you can see it. Usyk vacates on June 26th. Oh my god, there's always a moody thing here. It was Yahoo the one I read it on. Usyk lodged an appeal with the International Boxing Federation over his mandatory defence. The champion submitted a request for an exemption to maintain his rematch with Tyson Fury as an undisputed bout come December. What is this, people? Following his last, okay, blah blah blah, an interview. The aim for us is for AJ to become heavyweight world champion, okay, blah blah. And if the IBF belt comes available. This ain't what I'm looking for, to be fair. I'm trying to find where it was like at the end of May. At the end of May there was, so Usyk was pressed after May, so wait a minute. Trying to find, because Usyk appeal granted IBF. It's very annoying. Here we go. This is it. This is the one here, people. So May 1st. Here's the one I read. IBF will not take away Usyk championship belt on June 1st. So Eddie Hearns, yeah, he was lobbying before the Hrgovic fight. You can see it somewhere. Where is it? Must have been here. Well, we know that was the case. We can all agree with that. Team Hearn were lobbying, yeah, before the Hrgovic fight. And Hearn was making all the same arguments. Oh, he's already missed one, whatever it was. Usyk's already missed one, so we need it for the Hrgovic fight. And that was denied, okay? IBF will not take away Usyk championship belt for the Dubois versus Hrgovic fight. And it said somewhere... Oh, to be fair, it does say... Usyk will remain the owner of a title, at least for now. Earlier, his team asked for the IBF to allow him to not hold a mandatory title defence, and the status of absolute world champion would be at stake in the rematch against Fury. Well, listen, man. What we know for sure is Eddie Hearns was crying like a little girl. Massa Hearns and the Turkey Cabal were crying like a little girl. I don't believe it was the IBF, man. If there had been enough pressure, yeah, the same. Put it this way: if there had been the same pressure. And in fact, it don't even make sense. Because Hrgovic, he was the long-standing mandatory. And the IBF didn't strip him for that. Hrgovic was the guy who'd actually posted up. He'd been waiting, right? He'd been waiting. So the IBF ruled not to strip Usyk for Hrgovic, which might have been the right thing to do. He was the guy who'd been waiting. So how do you go from not stripping for Hrgovic, who's been waiting 2 years, to stripping for AJ? How'd that make sense? He ain't been waiting for nothing. He ain't beat no contenders like that to be waiting. He'd be no one. Okay? So, it was clearly a political coup. Not to mention, if there had been, imagine, yeah, Turkey had been out there talking about, no, we're going to defend Usyk with the IBF. Imagine if Eddie Hearn had been out saying, no, we're not going to strip. Imagine if Tyson Fury was Eddie Hearn's fighter. Right? Imagine if it was AJ Usyk that happened in May and AJ Usyk that's happening in December for Undisputed. Eddie Hearns would have been doing all that talking. No, it's a travesty. Usyk won it in the ring and AJ needs his chance. He's so humble. He needs his chance to fight back. He'd be saying, the random guy, essentially, which AJ is, who's now stripped the belt. What's he done? What's he done for that? Usyk's earned it in the ring with blood. But there wasn't no infrastructure behind Usyk. There was no infrastructure behind Usyk. And in a way, I have kind of, not slagged off, but I've pointed out potential areas where Usyk's been weak. But he must have accepted money. Because if he didn't accept money, he should have called it out for what it was, a coup. He should have aired out Eddie Hearns. He should have aired out whoever else involved. Because Turkey, he say something now, oh, it wasn't right for the fans, but let's have a look actually. Let's have a look what Turkey said. I don't really remember. But I'm guessing he had something to do with it. That's for damn sure. He'd bring the weight. Turkey Alal Sheikh. IBF. Usyk. Let's have a look. must have been in June, I guess. The IBF ruled that he was the next to fight Usyk in 2023. Anyway, people, the bottom line is, man, if Turkey wasn't involved, fair play to him. Yeah, but he admits himself it's great for the business. And I didn't hear him coming out in support of Usyk at the time when it was relevant. Yeah, that's what he should have done. IBF, don't strip Usyk. He was super quiet, and I believe if he wasn't involved directly in the coup for Usyk's belt, he thought, man, I don't want to fight this one. He could have, people, Turkey, one of the most out there people got out, right? He with talking. He with tweeting. He with shits like that. He could have come out and said, AJ, I love you. You're a big old bull. You know I love you, 100%. But this is wrong. Yeah, as big and as buff as you are, and as much as I like holding your hand, you can't fight for toffee, and you didn't earn that belt. That's what he could have done. He was quiet. And Eddie Hearn got the narrative. You can argue, well, why didn't Aegis Klimas do something? And people, Aegis Klimas, he don't have the little black book from Mandingo Room. He don't have them founding fathers connections. Eddie Hearn, he been had them. Barry Hearns. Barry Hearns the third. Lord Barry Hearns the third. Yeah? Lord Barry Calvin Candy Hearns the third. He had them found. He was one of the founding fathers. They don't tell you about, because he in the little black book. He off the map like that. You best believe it. Lord Barry Calvin Candy Hearns is one of the, what they call him. He one of the ones you don't hear about. He was, you damn sure he found the place. He the founding father. He one of the founding fathers of the cabal. That's how he got the connect. Eddie Hearn picked the phone up, bosh, IBF gone. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Smash the like button, subscribe, lick off the bell. No doubt about it. People, stop it.